Yo. Alright. Is it a reason why that when I said great grandmother, was it a reason why it was a feminine thing going on with the timeline and artificial light? Why did they not want to use it? Alright, let's keep those things in mind and why, and part of that expression I was giving earlier. So, to explain why I said feminine, right, is because um, the need and want of the understanding, right, is to present, preserve, and present, push forth, and preserve that which has the ability to present and push forward, which essentially would be like some type of poetic way of saying the womb, right? This is the only thing that man has overstood that can push something into the reality, right? And the more that we overstand this understanding, do different things come into the reality, right? Temples and so forth. And once you, because you are the supreme being, you can be compared to anything that's in the reality, because everything that's in the reality had to come through this filtration of you, which is the supreme being, right? So you already have some type of predisposed understanding to the way things are because you are a product of that understanding, right? So now when we are forced to look at what we understand today in 2022, you would say, damn, what be the difference from the time that existed before what I have going on now? And that would be artificial light, right? Now, artificial light would be the thing that your great grandmother may not have wanted to be prescribed to. And I'm telling you why, because she was already in sync with the natural order of things, and she was the representation of that understanding from her bringing forth that understanding through that natural portal in which she has, right? So now her essence is in the darkness. My essence is in the light, right? So when you understand, it's a tug of war nature between light and darkness, right? It's not necessarily a bad or good thing. It's all about you, the supreme being, and how you relate to said thing, right? So the artificial light would, if you understand the essence of that, you would know that this artificial light can lead, right? If the great grandmother was given insight to the way things are designed and the way things were made in order for her to push forth what she was doing in between the agreement between the night and dark. And once that has got broken, the need and want, that connection between that need and want, between the organic representation of that need and want will now become weak. And this is what the great grandmother was trying to prevent. Murk shit. You got to keep into consideration of a need and want. Need and want would be plugged in to one of your requirements as a human, right? Which will get turned into like desires and fears, because a need and want can only get materialized into something that is required, right? Air, water, food, and some form of shelter in severe elements, right? And that's something that all humans would require. So the governors of the reality have to at least be able to maintain that fortress for enough of the population to move into the next part of the reality, right? The reality is always in limbo once we understand how sacred everything is. And the mass psychosis of the reality is that there are limited few that understand essentially what the whole is going against, and fragmentally they figure it out by breaking it down, right? And you are an intelligent representation of something that has been broken down and has to now grow and shine in its most broken down form. Murk shit.